the honors.
Did you see the whole
the USA conference thing?
Yeah.
What was that meeting? Just so I know what to call it.
I didn't get to watch it, so without me giving away all the details.
I watched like most of the clips.
So it's basically, I can't explain it. They're telling the public what they have discovered. Basically, that's the easiest way for me to say it.
And saying that they've got like live alien unidentified.
Well, I don't remember them saying live aliens, but I remember the guy saying that obviously when they have recovered crafts and stuff. So obviously sometimes there's pilots, sometimes there's not, but they're saying obviously they found dead pilots or etc. But
they're not even revealing as much as is actually
I think it's
true.
to be fair, I mean, I'm gonna go back and watch it, and I should have probably watched it before I came in here, but I do believe that a lot was revealed within that, because it's a committee cancel type thing, and I think it's like how they govern and stuff, and they've had like a secret program for years, but we kind of all had a feeling, if that makes sense. But at the same time, it's like, how much more have they got to tell? If that makes sense.
And
why do you think?
now?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why do you think now they decided to?
I think
make it
a part of it is I think a part of it, if I'm correct, anyone can correct me if I'm wrong. Part of it was to do with Trump, and when he was in office, he was trying to make sure that the public was aware
that something's going on.
and then he was putting stuff in place that even when he's gone, some of the stuff comes out, because without people, the whistleblowers or the people that want to tell the truth, none of this stuff will come out. Think about it. There was like it was Area 51 that they were denying even existed for years, and then once they did say, look, it is here, but they weren't telling anyone what was actually there. And if you just look at the area of Area 51 alone, it just looks like an abandoned airplane base, but obviously goes levels beneath.
And it's crazy under there.
Yeah,
apparently.
do you know what I mean? So, and then even down to Bob Lazar, this guy was talking about
Bob
element,
Lazar.
element 115, or he was talking about this stuff years ago, and no one believed him, but now they're saying
it's all true. And he was saying that even from biblical times, they had spaceships that have been visiting Earth for so long. And like all the scientists are isolated, so they can't work with each other. They just have their set time to go in, try and discover how the spaceship works, all that kind of stuff.
I think he was saying there was different. I saw a clip yesterday and saying there was different programs. So some people might be working on, what their weapons do. Some people might be working on propulsory systems, and it was all about trying to reverse engineer how these crafts work and stuff.
Exactly.
And you would think by now, because they've had these crafts for good knows how long, it's kind of you just assume that with the technology they have or are using, they might be able to actually reverse engineer some of this stuff.
Well, apparently some of the technology that was available, it's accelerated our technology. Like, we're obviously nowhere near as advanced as them to be able to travel between planets or universes or light years, whatever they've done. But we have used what was available to accelerate our own stuff.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what? We're in it. Let's
hit them with an intro.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the Alphawaves pod. You're here with your hosts Darren and Cam, and we've got a special guest in the building.
How we doing, people? My name is Richie, RSJ. I've got pure names, but we're going to go with Richie today. Thank you for having me, people.
Always.
Always an honour to spend time with you guys.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Always. But interesting. So that kind of sets off what we're going to be talking about today.
Yes, aliens and AI. Intelligence of all kinds.
I mean, it's going crazy right now. Before we dive in deep, and I'm coming from a bit of more of a, not ignorant, what's the word?
Less informed
standpoint, as used to. I don't know who Bob Lazar is, but he sounds like a good guy.
Wait to tell you who Bob Lazar is. I'm going to send you a whole documentary.
Bob Lazar's a G. Put it that way.
I've heard the name before, but I've never
dived into
I'm gonna send you a documentary later where they basically disregarded this guy, and it kind of, what I realize is with the US government or certain governments, if they don't want you to talk about something, they'll disregard you in so much different ways. It's like your character, everything, and that they'll make out like everything you've done was a lie. This guy, it looks like everything he said was true. And even Joe Rogan was saying that. Like he ain't done a lot of interviews, but every one of his interviews, Joe Rogan went over and he was basically saying that it's very hard for someone to be so consistent with a story for years, even if it is a lie.
Even when you're listening to him, you can just sense,
he's
trauma.
He's
seen things. Exactly.
He's American.
Yeah, he's American. And from what I gather, he was talking about being in Area 51.
Yeah, so he worked in one particular section, because like you said, there's loads of different sections dedicated to different things. And he worked in one side of it where he was looking at one particular ship. And he had to kind of, as you said, like reverse engineer it and just focus on that and use his science for that.
He was saying that he went into work on, I'm trying to remember the name. There was another program that he wanted to work on. It was something to do with, that was it, manipulation of time with gravity. That's it. Something to do with gravity manipulating time. I said to myself, brother, what type of like engineering have they got going on down there, really and truly? Because remember that even if you go back to World War I, World War II, after that was done, they took the scientists from the Nazi days, stuck them in America, and some of these men are still part of the their programs now. So it's like, what else have you guys been working on for as long as? So
that's a good point, and it brings us back to our earlier question, like, why now? What's your thoughts? What do you think? I'll start. So
Well means.
Only because I was speaking about it with someone today, and they were saying how, and I agree, that when something is becoming public, when they're displaying something to you, whatever the story is, it's important to try and consider what the story is that they're not telling you.
That's very true. It's like a double whammy. Something they'll tell you about something over here, but really and truly they're making you miss something over there.
Yeah,
100%.
like a red herring.
Yeah, there's this other guy that's very knowledgeable in that field. I'm trying to remember his name, and he was basically saying that part of their program was to unite the world in terms of, just whatever they want to do. So, and that would happen if they had like a fake alien attack. So let's say that, for example, they reverse engineered all the spacecrafts or whatever, then they had a couple of them fly out from somewhere, then it looks like it's a space alien attack or whatever, but it's not really and truly. Then all the governments,
to create an enemy, because the real enemy
then all the governments,
the people in power.
Exactly, all the governments when they unite, then they can do what they want, really and truly, in terms of like, because you have to bear in mind, you look at country to country, most people are followers, they're not leaders.
100%.
So I mean, so if that was the case, most countries would have revolted by now, X, Y, Z, but if the world is united in terms of a so-called enemy, then they can kind of control people even more than they have. Look,
people don't seem to be, from what I've seen, like on TikTok and stuff, I don't think people seem to be regarding aliens as the enemy, though.
Because
they're not.
Just because there's nothing bad attached to it yet.
No, but my thing is this, look at it this way, with the clips and the first-hand testimonies that I've seen, the way they put it is this: if they were the real enemy, with all the times they've been shot at, chased down, X, Y, Z, with their technology, they could have wiped us out ages ago.
I mean, they have traveled to our planet.
Yeah.
We can't even fix the TFL. So they could have taken us out at any minute if that's what they wanted to do. And yeah, I don't know. I have some real thoughts and theory. I was going to wait to get into a bit more before I bring it up. But for me...
No, by all means. I mean, we're here now. So
we're here. We're in it now. But for me, like one of the things that really stuck out to me when I was watching the clips of the whole conference thing that was happening was one man who read out these 2 pages of a testimonial statement that an alien being had made. And he was basically saying, in a nutshell, that they've wanted to release this information or have the public know about their existence for years. But the powers that be have said that we weren't ready for that. So they were like, we didn't agree with that. A lot of people have been hurt or lost their lives trying to protect the secret. That was not on us. What we care about is the fact that the world is being destroyed, like the world is dying. There are far more efficient ways to use our energy
100%.
that the powers that be are not doing that with. And I think that's the, whether it's true, whether it's not true, why they're telling us all this stuff, that's all important. But I think the most important thing as humans is to recognize that we can't wait for someone else to make it a better planet. We have to do it ourselves.
Yeah,
You know, we take so many things for granted. Like you walk down one road, there's pollution, there's fumes from buildings, there's people smoking every second. It's naive to think that this stuff isn't making a difference.
There's people in the streets.
Exactly.
Poverty in general.
Yeah.
Accidents. There shouldn't be, with how much money and resources there are in the world.
How much food?
There shouldn't be
There's no
one should
reason.
be poor.
Yeah.
But it's greed at the end of the day. And you talk about energy and stuff, and I think part of element 115 was it being a source of free energy, if I'm correct. And let's look at a theory. If you put in free energy tomorrow in the world, most of these companies they're finished.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the problem. So obviously most people want to continue to make money, right? If I give you the cure for something, you ain't got to go to the doctors no more. But if I give you a drug that keeps you just living, then you know you're constantly going back to the pharmaceutical companies, extras, that it all counts in. And then on top of that, they you know, we talk about them coming here, but the likelihood is they've probably been here longer than us, if that makes sense. Because you know, even down to the evolution of mankind, they say was like, I don't know, however much thousands of years ago. So let's say, for example, it was 3,000 years ago. Problem is, they're finding artifacts that predate that by like, well, not hundreds, thousands, 6,000, 7,000. So it's like, wait there. So who was able to make these statues and this and that? And yeah, so I think the problem is we've been lied to all of our lives.
Yeah.
So most of our history is not what we think it is.
Yeah.
So I mean, but the problem is, again, mankind. Some people just blasé, they don't care. Where the rest of the people are like, well, we kind of want to know what's going on. If the government come out now and say, well, okay, this was wrong and that was wrong, and you're gonna have to rewrite the whole of history.
Basically, but again, it comes down to belief systems. Like you just said, a lot of people don't even care if it's real or not. A lot of people don't believe that it's real.
Yeah. You have to like. I don't like the word alien, to be fair, because it makes it sound like it's something to be afraid of.
Yeah.
A creature or whatever, a different form. If something along those lines is standing in front of you now, that's the only way some people would actually believe that
100%.
it exists. Now, once upon a time, when we were younger, you watch a show or a program and you think, oh, aliens, it's crazy, aliens don't exist, etc. But then you think how big the universe is meant to be, how big the earth actually is, and how much of the earth is undiscovered. Then you think for a second, hold on, it's more crazy to think it's just people that are us that live in this whole big earth and the whole universe. That's wild. I remember them saying that there's more stars and planets in the universe than there is sand in the world. Now, how wild that is. So you can't even, most people can't comprehend that. So it's like, let me just go day to day, live my life. Either I'm an atheist or I believe in some kind of God or X, Y, Z. So, you know, even if you go back in time and you look at like different civilizations, most civilizations have some kind of hieroglyphics on the wall where they're telling a story. But in all of these walls and all of these stories, you can see a humanoid person like ourselves, and you can see something that clearly doesn't look like a human. Yeah. So what are you telling me? Hundreds and hundreds
images
of years?
Of things coming from the sky.
So you think hundreds and hundreds of years ago, these guys were just writing creativity? They were just getting that high that their creativity was off the
just paint time.
Yeah, stop, come on, man. Stop trying to disregard history.
But you know what it is as well, though. Yeah. Like when you consider all of that, there's going to be skeptics that will say, "So what's stopping them from being here in that same capacity now?"
Yeah, but people believe they're already here.
Yeah, but there's people that don't. I'm saying.
No, that's fair enough, but you have to look at it this way. Yeah, all the clips I've seen, you know about the Tik Toks, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So for example, the Tik Toks for me probably been around for as long as we can remember. But my thing is this: how they always seem to dive into the ocean or seen around New Mexico, America, etc. I feel like they've been there for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Like, so there's always rumors about the inner earthers and stuff like that, and the people that they are exactly like us, they just live longer and they're much smarter. These people don't want nothing to do with us. If you believe what the rumors are, and rumors come from everywhere, even down to like films and stuff. They start putting the truth in films, but no one clocks. Where do they get all these weird fantasy ideas from? I used to think that there's just some creative guy, super creative guy, comes up with these ideas.
Really amazing, out of the box thinker.
Nah, even again the Tic Tacs. Everyone wants to see who's actually piloting these things because again, if you're trying to reverse engineer their kind of system, it's crazy. They hover, dive into the water, come back out, breeze off. You know, the Air Force can't keep up with them. I don't know, man. Someone's piloting that. And if that's anything to do with the government, then again.
What do you think as someone who, I'm assuming safely, hasn't heard like most of these kinds of theories? Like, what's
you're doing a lot of assuming over there.
Is it? So you have...
No, what's my
So
theory?
I assume correctly, yeah, like from like more of an objective point of view, I guess. What's your...
Do you know what it is? It's taken a lot of like reprogramming in my head, yeah? Because growing up, you see certain things and you just think you're skeptical of it.
Yeah.
Like, but it's because of the way that the media used to dress up certain things, like UFO sightings and all of this kind of stuff. It just seems so fake.
Unreal, yeah.
Like, yeah, but obviously that was more growing up in the days where you didn't have access to as much information at your fingertips. It's like what was fed
from
to
the
you.
public,
Yeah, it's more like what was fed to you, unless you're in certain circles, spaces, right? Now, like with information being so readily available, even where I haven't dived into it to the depths of used to, clearly, like I'm still privy to things that make me wonder, if that makes sense. So like when I hear stuff, I don't outright dismiss it. It's like I want to see more. I want to actually see what this is and make my own judgments of it.
What do you feel makes you lean more towards being open-minded? Is it just like accessing more information, or is there something in you that has like this,
I guess so, like
curiosity?
Just growing up, I guess, and expanding my own mindset. But it's things like even like what you said, Rich, in terms of like how much of the world has been discovered. This earth this land that we're living on, how much of it has been discovered and how much hasn't. Yeah. Like I've always had this theory, like when people say they go, what's the word? Backpacking to like the outbacks and that. What's out there for you to go and see?
Camping and all that. Yeah.
And I've never seen like...
I'm not going to lie. Not at all.
I've never seen footage of it. Like when I was interested in that and I wanted to look into it, I've never seen footage of what these people are going to see, right?
I could do if there's like a hotel nearby.
No, but there's not going to be.
Yeah, there's not. I'll do glamping, but I won't do camping.
No.
Like I need a real shower.
I need exactly and condition, like all these important things. I'm just not here to suffer.
But like that's very surface level compared to what they're
someone
going out
else
there
can discover it and tell me we have TikTok now. But this is the thing,
they're not doing that, are they? So then stuff like that has just kind of like made me think, what is actually going on in this world? Because this can't be it. This can't be all.
It's true. And you know what? There's so many theories. And the one that I kind of lean towards more or resonate with is more of it comes from more of a spiritual lens, which also ties in with why these beings have been reaching out to us for years, because they say that there's certain reasons why you come to certain places, and Earth is literally known as the school, you know, people, because look at this place, like people come here to learn, experience really hard things. It's not an easy place to live wherever you go. So in terms of our soul's evolution, what we're doing, what we're learning, we have made a contract, made an agreement in our lives here to experience things for our growth, that it takes a brave soul to do that. These are hard things to go through. So I believe, and I've heard, which also made me believe, that you know, these beings, they look at us with that kind of respect and admiration. You know, they're not here to destroy us, but these beings are also, in my opinion and the opinion of others, they are far more highly evolved than we are. They're traveling through light years, which means they've seen our past and they've seen our future. So if they're coming here, it's not just in the interest of Earth, it's also in the interest of themselves in the galaxy if we're destroying Earth, which we are. And I've never taken things like that very seriously. Like, I'll admit, I'll be one of those blasé people who just doesn't really care about the environment, because you think Earth's so big, what does it matter? And it's just
this little piece of litter matter?
Exactly.
Oh, I hear you.
And if everyone's doing it, if everyone's, you know, experimenting with nuclear weapons and bombs in other parts of the world, how can that not make a difference?
Yes, it's but that's part of the problem, right? Because everyone's doing it as opposed to everyone doing the right thing. People, I guess people.
But that's why, like, to really rant now, I feel like that's why it's important, because it's what you said earlier, actually, with you know, greed and money and materialism, all these things that separate us from ourselves as spiritual beings as well as human beings, that contribute to why we feed into these systems and depend on them. And we can't just turn our head away to how important it is to declutter your mind and your soul and your spirit anymore. It's got to that point where I feel like humanity is at a crossroads where you really do have to start trying to take it seriously with raising your vibration and taking that seriously.
Yeah, that's why I try to meditate and, you know, get my
chakra
in
I love that. Is exactly what I do.
Yeah, and stuff. It's important. I remember them saying that the rumor is that, you know, when they give you ideas or when you get ideas, it's like they implant them ideas into you when you're sleeping, kind of thing. And then for me personally, it's like I would have a dream and I won't think nothing of it, and then like that dream will come through. And I'm like, I'll say deja vu, but it hasn't happened. If that makes sense.
Like a premonition.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And I don't see myself as any kind of prophet or anything along those lines, or one of them people that can read, you know.
But you don't have to be. Do you know what I mean?
But it's just funny that like it's happened numerous times. It's not been like one time. I think I remember talking to this about Morgs, and that it's not just been like one time. It's happened in numerous amount of times. And then sometimes I've wrote these stuff down, and I'm like, I pray that don't happen, because some of them dreams just look wild and scary. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I'm just mindful. Again, as an adult, you know, mindful, trying to meditate and just.
I love that. Seriously, that's exactly what you should be doing.
The world needs. That's what the world needs to meditate. But
just
again,
as a disclaimer, like meditation can be different for everyone. You know, it doesn't have to be actual meditation, because even with you, Darren, I always say, like, you're so intuitive and you can read people really easily. Like, you don't have to be a monk or a prophet to be connected to your spirit.
No, you don't. You don't. I just feel like if the world meditated, we probably wouldn't be in the problems we're in now.
No,
because my thing is this. I said this the other day. I said, if you look at the world and any part of the world you look at, everything that has happened to the world has been man-made.
Yeah.
Like all the problems we're going through now is all man-made. So it's not like some special being came down from somewhere, mashed up this planet, mashed up that country, mashed up and said, you guys live through that chaos. It's not. It's all man-made. So it's like, you know, we've done this to ourselves. I'm sure we can get ourselves out of it.
We can.
Whether or not we want to. You know,
well, we have to, because something is intervening. So
we've got to eliminate so many aspects of society to be able to
thrive.
Yeah,
but you can't be talking about going to Mars and going to this one and that. They're talking about going to Mars because they want to leave here. Leave here and do what? You got to sleep for how long to get to Mars? Stop it, man.
They do not want you on Mars. Like, you think there's nothing there. Everything that we've been told is completely different.
And on top of that, you look at the moon. When tonight, whenever we go to bed, we can look out and we can see the moon. They're talking about not going back to the moon anymore. Why? We can see the moon from where we are. We can't see Mars. Can't see Pluto. Can't see all these other places they're talking about. We can see the moon. And it's very telling that they don't want to go back there no more, even if they even went there, because all of a sudden they lost the technology to get there. How do you lose the technology to get there? That's like you driving to me one day and yeah, at my house at XYZ, and we say, all right, let's go back to your house. Like, bro, you know what? I can't even go back there, you know, because man lost the technology to get back home. What?
I lost my car.
Yeah, what do you mean? That don't make no sense. So I feel like it's either they actually went to the moon and there's a real reason why they don't want to go back.
Or they're not allowed back.
Or they never went there. Because there's testimonies that I've heard about people going to the moon, and I'm like, that don't even make no sense.
Come back, right?
Yeah, it don't even make no sense. Like, and why does the moon not spin? Think about it for a second. All the other, everything spins in our system other than the moon. You don't think that's strange? They don't spin. Tonight when you go to bed, or whenever, when it's a full moon again, that same
moon. It is tonight.
That same moon you see tomorrow or the day after or whenever, or the exact same picture you'll see every other day. Don't spin. Why? How is that possible? Make it make sense. Everything else in our solar system spins. Everything other than the moon. I'm gonna leave that for the people to think about.
I know we're just in silence, like.
I'm just thinking about it.
Like, I can't believe of everything we've said. That's the thing. That's like, wait a minute.
Stunned to silence.
I'm telling you, it don't mean no sense.
That's funny.
And the theories I heard about that, I'm not even gonna share here because it's just the theories I heard about that is wild. That's for like off air kind of thing. Yeah.
Fair.
It's wild, man. That the world we live in is wild. You know, people talk about. I think about NASA stopped investigating the sea for a reason. They stopped investigating the sea for a reason. There was a point where they were talking about the Bermuda Triangle, and the ships kept hitting the coral reefs, and they couldn't understand why. So they sent a probe. The probe went down, and it was like they didn't realize how big it was. It said between the Bermuda Triangle, it was either 9 football fields or 9 Mount Everest? It's just in that little...
Between each point?
Yeah, just in that little point there. They didn't realise how deep it was. Then they said it will cost 25 million just to research this area. This little bit of area. And then what about the rest of the ocean? Like, that's not research. I think now we're up to like 18% of the Earth's bed that's mapped out. 18.
That's crazy.
That's good. So that's like this so far here is mapped out all out there. Who knows what's there? So that's concerning. And these guys...
And some things I feel just really should be left alone, you know?
That's true, but the problem is because mankind is curious...
Yeah,
they say curiosity killed the cat. I said it ages ago.
And you know what? Satisfaction brought it back. We know that.
I said it ages ago, man. They're gonna keep doing this research.
Yeah,
and they're gonna come across stuff they wish they never found.
No, they're gonna unearth something that they should.
And that's what. And I'm like, part of me wants to see it, part of me doesn't, because it's like, do I really want to be waking up one day? That's what I said to you. That's what I said to him yesterday. Do I really want to be waking up one day and you just see something coming out of the water, just real life film event? Like, where do you go? In London, we're doomed. Like,
no, I can't deal with it because I don't trust that we will be looked after, you know?
No, we won't. Where do we?
At all.
You see, like Japan and a couple of them countries, they got underground bunkers for the nation. Like, the underground bunkers here for like the elites, the prime ministers and the royals and
We've just got the actual underground, and it will be closed that day.
Yeah, we're finished, man. That's like, as much as I'm happy that we're in a country like this and this part of the world, we don't get hit by tsunamis. If we're in another part of the world, a tsunami hits us, we're finished. You know, if we go to war, we're finished. You take away Scotland and Wales, and you just look at this. It's not really a country; it's an island. So, you know, you have to kind of be. God forbid anything happens along like a real World War III or XYZ. Because I don't know. I don't know where we go from here, man.
It's interesting to consider, but hopefully not in our lifetime anyway.
Yeah, you say that, but these guys just getting closer and closer.
I know it's getting very...
there's more sightings than ever before, really and truly. And the first sightings, even down to Christopher Columbus, in his journals, he had stuff where he was surfing through the ocean or whatever, and he would jot down stuff. And sightings were happening back then, but more sightings started happening once they started doing the nuclear testing.
Yeah.
So if you have to look at it this way, let's just say that light over there is the Earth, and you know, we're some peacekeeping alien society, whatever. That light keeps flickering. Stuff on that light keeps flickering. It's like moss to a flame, right? At some point in time, the moss are gonna come over and start to see what's going on over there. So supposedly the theory is that once they started having all this nuclear testing, XYZ started happening, people started, you know, beings from another Earth or whatever you want to call it, started coming over more. I don't know.
It's very interesting, I'll be honest, because will we ever know? That's the question. Like, will we ever know? I don't think so.
I want to know, but I don't. At the same time,
can you see things happening right now in the society that's shaping us to that eventuality?
I can.
Yeah, I can.
What's
With
the main
younger generation, I feel like there's this. I mean, even seeing how people are reacting to this earth-shattering news, and no one really does seem to care.
Yeah,
as much as you think they would. Like if this was a news announcement in 1996, it would be so different to how people are just making memes and videos now, you know? So there's like this resilient attitude of the people, which is why I also feel that we do have to rely on that fact that we as people are more capable of coming together than we think. If the event of something really
doesn't really
the
matter.
Potential of something really bad was going to happen. I know you look skeptical, and at this point in time, I can understand why. But you know, it really is the smallest changes that make the biggest differences. It really is. And that's all we can control at this point in time is ourselves. And I feel like if everyone made the effort to improve themselves by 1% every day, which would be the difference, and I'm no expert at it, as you will hear in just 1 second, but say if your manager annoys you at work, you can make the different choice to leave that conflict there and feed yourself better rather than complaining about it to all your friends and spreading that energy. Like if we take energy, frequency, vibrations a lot more seriously, energy transference a lot more seriously than we do, just by small things, it really can make a difference.
Who benefits from that though?
Everyone benefits from it.
Do the people in power?
I don't think it's enough, man. I'll be honest with you, because like if there's good out there, that means there's bad.
Of course, but that's why you have to tip the scales, and we can't change other people. Like when you change yourself, when you change your mind, you change your history and your future. You really do.
Yeah,
you have to believe it.
I'm just wary of,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hear
You
it.
have to
I hear the
believe
intention
it.
behind it, but I don't know. I feel like there's too much of the opposite for that to even make
Of
a
course
slight
there is,
impact.
but if everyone thinks there's too much of the opposite and nothing's going to make a difference, then nothing will make a difference.
I don't think nothing will make a difference.
No, but I just mean, even if like, for me anyway, even if like, you know, the forget the government's united, because that's just, I'm not sure I want to see that. Even if the people unite, there's not much we could do about some kind of a real life threat to human society.
Yeah, but look at the small differences. Like even looking at how Gen Z are changing the workplace. Like there was a point in time that if a manager put a meeting in your diary at this time, you'd have to go to it. And it's now becoming normalized just with how Gen Z are, that if a manager puts a meeting in their diary at this time, they can say, I'm burnt out today. Can we put it in the diary for tomorrow? Like they just do not care. Do you know what I mean? I know that's such a small difference in comparison to the larger thing that we're talking about. But even looking at how workplaces that were so rigid for so many years are slowly starting to change, and that seemed to be like an unchangeable thing. Even everyone working from home now is a thing that was never before. And I know
you see all of these things, yeah,
they seem so pointless.
No, not even pointless. Like there is a positive element to it right now, yeah, but I can see things coming into place like AI that's gonna wipe out all of these efforts that Gen Z's doing and all of these things. Like the power of AI right now and where AI is going, all of this stuff.
AI is a mad thing still.
All right, talk to me about that, because that's actually where I'm less informed.
Or AI. AI right now is it's not even touched the surface, I don't think, like of where it's gonna go, the things that it's gonna do. And this, so we talk about like the humanity element on this society. I feel like it's all kind of tied, but I feel like they're preparing themselves for less humans, if that makes sense. I don't know if that is because they feel a threat of something coming.
Wait, so let's break it all the way down. Like where is AI now?
Where isn't it? Look around you, there's AI everywhere, literally, not technology, AI.
So what's the difference?
Technology is obviously...
What is AI?
AI is artificial intelligence, obviously. Yeah, it's things that can operate without
like Alexa.
Without the need for too much human involvement other than programming. That's like, once you've programmed it, it can operate on its own. It doesn't need somebody to monitor it 24/7, etc. Right? There's things out there that can operate your whole day for you, basically. And then it's going to be able to operate, forget your day, it's going to be able to operate society like without too much of the human touch. To me, they're gearing up people for that reality. There must be a reason for that. There has to be. And they start from base level. Like, I don't know if you've even seen this on like TikTok, these people doing NPC. Non-playable character, yeah. Have you seen it?
No.
Have you seen it?
I've heard of it, and when they're like doing the NPC and doing the voiceover for
basically, like they're on live or whatever, and then people are donating whatever. Let's say it's a cowboy hat or whatever, and the person is acting like a character, like receiving these things. So I'll show you an example of it, but they're like, I think they're easing it in just to see how people are even taking that on board. Like, where did that come from? Why are so many people just randomly doing it? You don't wake up one day and just think, I'm going to act like a character. It's like, what's the word I'm thinking?
Yeah, you need to show me.
It's like, you know, when you're setting somebody up, but you're easing something in slowly. Testing the waters, basically. Like testing the waters to see how people interact with certain things. And I feel like little stuff like that is just like warming people up to what's eventually coming. Because if you can take it in for this, what's going to stop you taking it in for something that's a bit more serious? When
you're becoming more and more desensitized.
Right. Because this is a joke. Like, when I show you, it's actually a joke. Like, how can somebody do that? But if people are already warming to that concept, when it's a real thing now, what happens then? Like, there's going to be less and less. So I feel like they're doing it to stop what you're saying, the whole community aspect of it's going to prevent people even joining together to fight against whatever they've got planned, I think. And I don't think it's necessarily a thing that they're trying to fight what's coming. I think they're trying to align themselves with what's coming.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is the conspiracist in me, but whatever we're told, just believe the exact opposite.
Just believe it.
The exact opposite. If someone's the enemy, they're not. If someone's a friend, they're not.
I just think with AI, I just keep thinking of the Terminator. That's what springs to mind. I don't know what type of, I don't know when or what type of future, or how long it's going to take to even get there. But I remember I was watching something and they were saying it was in Japan or China where they were messing around with these robots, and this robot managed to kill a couple people, and then they tried to, so they disarmed 2 of them or 3 of them, and then one of them managed to upload itself to a satellite and was trying to arm itself even stronger. And then when they were analyzing it or whatever, and you know, saying they wanted to kill humans, in my mind, I'm saying this is AI in now.
They're just making this an inhospitable planet. So, like, I want to be where the aliens are.
No, but that's this is what so what's AI going to be trying to do in 10, 15 years time if it's trying to kill people now? You guys stop messing around. This is what I say about, like, curiosity killed the cat. Sometimes humans just need to leave stuff alone. Yeah. Certain things need to be left alone. We can't be having films that are doing certain things and then we're working towards these films. Why?
Yeah.
Why? And it saddens me because if all this energy was put into making a more energy efficient,
a better place,
planet, we would be there already, you know?
Yeah,
like, it actually sad. That's why I wanted to talk about aliens this week, because I wanted to send out a message to the public. Like, don't panic. Work on, like, truly understand that working on yourself isn't just a case of, you know, improving your life and feeling better and being more productive. It's fundamental. Like, you have to be connected to your spirit now.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I think it's too late, man. Like,
it's not. And you know what? Like, it's also frustrating because it's, again, comes back to something you said earlier on with the media and movies. I can't remember what you said now, but the portrayal, it's what you said, Darren, like the portrayal of certain things like UFOs and stuff like that in movies. And they're doing that now. Like, even when people are talking about meditating, chakras, whatever. Why is it that in all the sitcoms, the character who does that is like the wishy-washy, whimsical, silly character that you can't take seriously? Why is that the character trope for that type of person, when people who do meditate knows that it's serious? It's actually nothing like that, you know? All of that stuff, it's so subliminal, insidious, subtle, to make you not take these things seriously when people are saying save your soul.
Yeah.
And that there's no hope in it either.
Unfortunately.
No, it's not unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They make that character that's doing the whole the meditating and the soccer. They make that character the indie kind of what's the word I'm looking for, the hippy dippy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Man.
I don't agree with that either.
No, but to be fair, that was the makeup of that person in society for so long. It's only like in recent times that it's spread amongst others, or other people are being more outgoing with it, like more people have been able to discuss it.
Yeah.
But
and even that, like
wasn't.
Things that just turn frivolous or become a fad, you know, or become another way, like a spiritual ego, like another way to feel better about yourself and make other people feel less. It's just not about
it comes down to your intentions and what you're doing.
And I feel like we as humans, just the same way that people are so curious about what's at the bottom of the ocean, let's find it, even if it's dangerous, or let's take AI as far as we can take it. We need to have that same curiosity with our spirituality. And again, I'm not saying it as the expert, because I fall off all the time, but I can feel the difference, not just in my life, but in myself, in the way that I'm understanding the world, in the way that I'm understanding information, and also the impact that it's having on people in my house just by me doing those things. Because energy transference is a real thing.
I guess so.
It is.
No, not I guess so. It is real. But
I'm just like extra passionate today. I don't know what it is, but it's just serious. Like, it's serious.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, AI is just I don't know, man. If I ever come into contact to using AI, so be it. But it's just concerning for me why mankind is so hell bent on, because you have to look at it this way: people are gonna lose their jobs.
Yeah,
100%. It's happening already.
People are gonna lose their jobs, and then what? Then how does that person work? How does that person provide for their family?
Yeah,
type thing.
How far would you personally go with AI in your life, in your home?
You see me, like.
I'll do it.
I love technology, I love technology advancements, but I'm always at the same time a bit hesitant to I'm hesitant to just like jump on every new thing that I see.
Yeah, I hate being the first person to do things. I don't mind being the first.
Yeah, but because that first person's always the test on me.
The guinea pig, exactly.
The guinea pig. You look at the films and all that, like
even things like Alexa or the Hey Google thing, whatever.
I ain't got no Alexa in my house.
Yeah, because again, the conspiracy theorist in me.
No. So I ain't got no Alexa in my house.
No, the conspiracy theorist in me is like, who do you work for? Who do you belong to? What are you recording? You know?
Yeah, no. 100%.
Even like my cameras, like, the Ring cameras in your house.
Yeah.
I unplug those when I'm having a serious conversation, because I just don't trust anything.
No, I hear it, man.
Anything that could just be recorded and one day used against you. Not that I'm doing anything crazy, but you just never know.
Yeah, I get it. Even
like the DNA test, all this stuff, because I'm like, nothing.
It's
all beyond a fun thing,
like the ancestry tests and stuff like that. Yeah. As much as I'm curious, I'm just like, I don't know where
I'm not going to give you my blood.
Where it's been stored and who's using it, and
just to find family members.
There could be a clone of you right now. You don't even know. Like, would you?
I just don't trust it.
No, I don't trust it. And this is a strong opinion. I know there's loads of positives and it's helped people in whatever ways it's helped them, but I just don't think you should trust it.
Kind of hard to.
Just don't. Just don't do it.
You get swept up in the hype of it, and that's what.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm so skeptical and cynical. Like, I just always see the flip side of it. Like, I just got zero trust for
where it's going. And this is my actual DNA. Like, you can't, even certain apps that are popular with the filters for your face and stuff like that. I just don't like the really popular ones.
Yeah, I know
that go
what
around.
you mean though. I do get that, because it's just like, that's a form of face recognition, right? And you can, with face recognition, you could just be recognized anywhere doing any. You could use your face and that's why I don't really care about the whole iPhone thing and that in itself. It's like you're looking into your phone to open your phone. What next?
Not gonna lie, I do that.
What was it? Elon Musk, who was it that wanted to put the whole music going straight to your brain? Big man, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I see something like that.
I'm not, like,
what's that? What does that do?
As in, like, there's like a chip that goes here, and then the music goes straight to your brain.
That's so scary.
So I'm saying, like, where we, like, what next?
And that's why we need to understand ourselves as spiritual bodies better. Because if you knew that, the first thought that went through my head was, I'm not going to let something mess up my vibration or my frequency or the energy systems currently in my body. If you aren't learning these types of things, you're not going to think that way. So you're just going to think, wow, cool, amazing. Let me just do this thing. You're essentially putting a chip in your head.
I'm not doing that.
I mean, it's just the way society's set up, right? You're gonna have people that's curious, and then you're gonna have people that just go along with whatever they're being fed.
Definitely, like the people I feel who are more on these things are the people who are looking at this technological stuff and advances as something phenomenal that's going to better the world. But those are the same people who already think the world right now is better. They are wrong.
But you say that, how much of it do you use on a day-to-day basis?
What, technology or AI?
Either.
I don't use any AI. I downloaded the AI the other day just to see what I can, do you know what I mean? Just to see what it's going to do, kind of thing. It's already charging me, so. It's been a couple days. AI, relax.
I've seen enough.
Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna see what happens and all that. I'm gonna give it like a month and see what it do, and then I don't know. Other than that, I ain't really got anything AI. You know, the whole, other than Siri, and Siri's about as much as it gets.
I hear that.
Yeah, the only AI that I use is probably on my phone, like Siri, which I rarely use, to be fair, because I feel like it's rude. Or is that, am I the only one who thinks?
What do you mean? With what
Siri, like it just always talks to me with an attitude, so I'm sensing it doesn't like
attitude,
me.
You know,
it does though.
That's crazy.
So I'm like, AI's already not on my side. and then
that's crazy.
And then the phone recognition thing to unlock your phone. But I don't really have like loads of devices and stuff like that.
I think it's going to come to a point where you're just naturally going to
be forced into it.
Yeah, I do feel like some people are going to get forced into it. 100%.
If there's things that are truly just fun, like, say if you're in a car and it's got like these funky things that you can do or whatever, then I'll probably do that.
Yeah, but what do you mean? What, as in you're driving the car, the car's driving?
Yeah.
So, okay.
No, things like that. Like I'm driving the car and there's like maybe voice recognition for certain controls or stuff like that. Then that's as far as I take it. But things that would take from me, like my DNA or stuff like that, or even like there were these Apple glasses or something. And I'm like, but you're getting my whole eye, like for what?
Yeah,
just to make my life a little bit more exciting or easier.
It's a bit scary, man.
I just don't think it's worth it.
You know what I don't like, is when I get into my car on a specific day and my car knows where I'm going. I hate that.
Wait, what?
Wow.
What do you mean it knows where you're going?
Like, so for instance, weekends I wake up early morning and go gym. The moment I step in my car, it's routing it to the gym already before I even said anything.
Too over familiar.
I don't route myself to the gym ever because I know my route. I've never plugged in like this postcode to
so
the gym.
unprovoked, it's just doing that.
Yeah, it says like.
So it's not even like recognition of your history of putting in this.
Because I ain't put it in there. It just knows where I go. It's like 12 minutes to the gym. I'm like, wait a minute. Good. But if I get in my car at that same time,
I'm just picturing you driving and something says 12 minutes and you're like freaking out.
If I get into my car at the same time on a weekday, it won't tell me that.
Knows where you're going on certain days.
Yeah,
that's a bit much.
Without me putting the postcode in.
That's a bit much, man.
From recognizing.
In fact, I would scrub the memory.
Today, the moment I stepped in my car, it told me how long to get here.
No way. I'd scrub the memory. I'm not gonna lie.
The memory of what? Because it's not in my. It's not like.
No, but how did it know that though? No. I'll get rid of the car. Car's gone. That car is gone. I'm getting rid of that.
Sometimes it will get it wrong. Or get me wrong, like it will say whatever to another address.
But it might be doing it on purpose to try bamboozle.
Maybe, but very rarely. And it's all postcodes that I don't put into my car. It's not like I put it into my Google Maps or anything.
No, man, that's not on.
So weird, isn't it?
That's not on. I'm getting rid of
These things are scary, but I don't know.
No AI.
Maybe
I hope it's not just
naive.
me and I'm being tracked or something.
Maybe it's naive or too hopeful or whatever. But I really just do have more faith in humanity. And I feel like whatever's coming through with AI, humanity will always just do what needs to be done. Maybe. I feel. Because even now, we're not out here buying these amazing things. We're talking about AI and how scary it is.
No, but you see, like the flip side of what I just said there, somebody will see the convenience in that.
Yeah.
A lot of people will probably see the convenience in that. And that's how it thrives in the society. Like one or two people having doubts about it is not enough. Like they've disguised a lot of stuff as convenience.
Yeah, you know what? Mankind is a danger to itself for me.
100%.
Like
100%.
Too much curiosity, too much greed, too much ego.
Greed is the biggest thing. Greed is like, there's a lot. And it's going to come to a point, who knows even that if that's not at the point already, where countries are going to be warring over these things just to have more element of control in their mind of these things.
Yeah, man.
True. These are all some big what ifs. They are. But again, they are what ifs. You know?
I don't even feel like that's a what if.
Yeah, I don't feel like some of them are what ifs. Like, I remember
but at this point in time, it is a what if. You know, it just
already like
AI is here.
Yeah,
but
tried to kill someone the other day.
Current...
I feel like there's there's right now. You know, like there's different people programming AI, etc., blah, 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 in different parts of the world. I feel like there's like a small program somewhere that's slowly building itself up as we speak.
100%.
Like,
you say AI program.
Yeah.
AI.
Okay, what film is that? Is it Red Eye? What film is it with Charles? Wasn't it LaBeouf? Something LaBeouf, that guy.
I'll look it up.
And basically that, like, you're watching the film and you're thinking someone's plotting against him, blah, 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 blah. The whole time it was AI. Like, was it something LaBeouf? I forgot his first name, man. The guy, and he was in Transformers. Yeah, him.
Eagle Eye.
Oh.
Say again?
Is it Eagle Eye?
Eagle Eye, that's it. The whole time it was AI. So in my mind, I'm like, come on, man. Again, that film came out maybe nearly 10 years ago.
Wow.
Where did the idea come from?
Because these things already existed way before they get to us.
Like another one that here's one for you to watch. Tomorrow's War. It's called Tomorrow's War. That's with Chris Pratt, I think. Good actor.
Let me write this down. I'll watch it.
That
my faith won't be shaken.
No, I guarantee you watch that film.
I guarantee
you'll watch that film, yeah, and you'll
your
be like,
faith will be shaken.
You'll be like, wait. That's possible. That's possible. Like, the problem is with some of these films, you're saying, okay, cool.
What's the other one? Eagle Eye.
Yeah, Eagle Eye.
Okay.
So with some of these films, you'll be like, okay, it's a great film. I like the plot, you know, up, down, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, hold on, that's actually possible. Some of these films are far fetched, cool, Transformers, whatever you want to call it. But some of these films are like, where did you get this idea from, big man? Because
true,
this is a bit much.
But you know what? Like, I'm not minimizing any of this because it's true. These are all very valid, especially with the way that powerful people in the world are today. These are really valid things that could happen. But this is, again, why I'm going to just keep stressing in this episode. You have to armor yourself with your spirit, because when you do, you understand that there are infinite possibilities on this earth, infinite. And you also understand that there is just one thing you can control, and there will be tangible things from that. And that's yourself, your perception of stuff. And the more we keep feeding into fear, the more we keep feeding into those infinite possibilities, the less we're investing in better possibilities, which are just as probable and possible, maybe not as probable with where we're at, but just as possible as the darker ones, you know?
It's a balance in that, though, because you can't ignore what's going on around you.
You can't ignore what's going on. But if you continue to feed into the things that they want you to be scared of, then those things really will just happen, and you'll continue to color your experience with that.
I get where you're going with that. I remember saying to someone that, I don't really fear man, I fear God, such, etc. And they were saying, well, that's fair, but when you think about it, you should fear man, because it's mankind that's doing all this.
No, you shouldn't. Look, when COVID started, I abandoned all of my passions because I was like, what's the point? I might die, you know? And it's a real thing. And I was also like, and also what's the point? Because what state is the world going to be in? You just, those were natural thoughts. And I really poured into that fear. Like, I actually didn't follow up on so many things that I wanted to do, because I fully just felt, what is actually the point, you know? Like, this isn't even, the world is just changing. And 3 years later, we're pretty much back to normal. Well, that ended up being not as much of a big thing in longevity as we thought it was going to be. It was a devastating thing at the time, obviously.
But that's where
but in retrospect, it wasn't.
That's where my like cynical nature kicks in, because I don't think it was for no reason. I think like whatever's come from it for them has worked. Like whatever they wanted out of it.
But the way that people were afraid, like actually running to get toilet paper, that kind of irrational mob mentality fear, it was never needed anyway. But we have seen in a short space of time.
No, but again, that just shows how easy it is to control the narrative of so many people.
Yeah.
True, but only if we keep believing that we can't control as much as we can control. If you keep giving someone your courage, then they can control you. They just can. Like, I
don't know. I think I get what you're saying, but sometimes you have to look at things at surface level. Yeah, like, all right, cool. See, there was the toilet paper issue. Yeah, that was like publicized. There's no like, and it made people. But since then, I've seen 3 things happen. I've seen the petrol issue happen, where they said, oh yeah, we're running out of petrol, whatever, rose the prices, and then like a couple of weeks later, everything's cool, but they brought the prices down, but it's still much higher than what it was originally. I've seen that happen. And then like on a lower scale, there was a point where you would go to the supermarket and there's no eggs. Do you remember that? There was no eggs for like a couple of weeks, whatever. Then like when eggs came back again, people were rushing out to buy eggs. Eggs were now higher priced, etc. It's like they keep doing these things and people keep falling into the trap time and time again. So if they're doing it, they've done it on a major scale with COVID, done it on a little lower scale with petrol, they've done it on your food supply. What's next?
But not to be that annoying person, but with what I said earlier, with starting small, if you again armor yourself, empower yourself, you won't fall into the smaller traps, you know? You'll wait it out till the price goes down again, because the price of petrol is still higher, but it did go down, you know?
But you needed it to
continue. But who's waiting for petrol to go down?
When you need to do something. Ain't
nobody waiting for petrol to go down.
I guess so. Like, look, we can't control every single thing.
This is my point.
I don't have all the answers, but I truly believe that if you do empower yourself, if you do control yourself, your mind, your spirit, you will be less susceptible to falling for these external traps and knowing how to better navigate them.
I'll give you another example. I'll say Egypt. Here's an Egypt one. KFC running out of chicken. How? KFC? Listen, man. Colonel, what's his name? Colonel
Sanders.
Yeah, Colonel Sanders. Whatever his name is, he'll be turning his grave when he heard that. Running out of chicken. How? People losing their minds. Like, KFC. All you man do is sell chicken. How can you run out of chicken?
But then if you really did, again, continue empowering, elevating yourself, you'd see that maybe that potentially is a lie and the chicken hasn't run out. So when it comes back, I need to run to get it.
Yeah, but a lot of people will run to get it.
These men were going to Tesco's to buy chicken, to then put in KFC, to then sell. Like, come on, man.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I just think it's so easy to keep comparing ourselves or having that mindset of like, what's the point? Because the larger majority is always gonna. It's so easy to keep saying.
I don't think it's a what's the point thing. I just think it's like.
But it's like, but we keep coming back to it in this conversation, don't we? Where it's like, you guys keep. No, but it's true. Like coming back to you, but what about all the people who don't? We have to stop caring about all the people who don't. You just have to do the right things for you, genuinely the right things.
I agree with that, but a community is not just built on yourself, though.
It's not, but energy transference is also a thing. And if you all just have to lead by example and not worry about, you know, screaming at people till you're blue in the face to get other people on the program, you just got to do it and lead by example. Other people will follow that.
I guess so.
Not everyone will.
So.
Not every single person will. And I do hope so, but not every single person will. But that then becomes the majority.
You would hope so. But we all live in like a, not to say, but we all live in a society, yeah, where we can have our, however we want our household pattern, we can have that. Then you can look outside or look across the road and your neighbor across the road is living life a
totally
whole different way. And you're like, why do they do this?
It's so true. Like even with me being out of work for so long in COVID and then online seeing all the changes that people are talking about, especially companies, because they're always going to say we're more this and the other now, and then actually going to work and seeing how nothing changed, that was so disheartening for me and also an eye-opener. But at the same time, there are so many people today who are having more conversations around emotional intelligence, spirituality, meditation. That wasn't happening 10, even 5, maybe even 3 years ago.
Definitely.
So if we keep holding that hope that things will change, they can change. It starts with me. They just will change. They may not change in my lifetime.
But at some point.
Let's
just hope it changes.
Hopefully in my lifetime.
Hopefully it changes with enough pace to combat whatever's coming our way.
We don't.
I just got to have faith, man. I'm just
and
trying
also,
to have faith.
whatever's coming our way could be helpful to us.
Could be, potentially.
You know, it could be like if it's an alien invasion, they could be.
Alien invasion ain't going to be helpful for anyone.
How do you
like
know?
A real life alien. Okay, and again, when I say there's good and there's bad, I mean there's good and there's bad everywhere. That means there might be a good alien race, that may be a bad alien race.
Definitely,
We don't want to encounter the bad alien race because I don't know if we got the stuff, the kahunas and the.
We don't have the minerals.
Yeah, I don't know if we got the minerals. I'm just saying.
No, I get it.
It might get rough real quick. You know, next thing, this time next year, the whole world could be looking like a dystopia world and all that.
But you know, everyone says that every year and it just hasn't happened yet. So I think we can.
Yeah, let's not. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't even.
We can be okay in knowing that something drastic like that just might not happen. It might, but it also might not, because people have been saying this for years since The Matrix came out, and it's not as dystopian as we thought it was going to be.
And long may it stay like that. God.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we have to expand our mind just beyond like the what ifs that are so, you know, damning.
I'm just saying, man.
And invest more energy into genuinely being better people. And this isn't the whole hippie, love everyone, love and light. People, you are going to have a neighbor who's insane and is going to annoy you at every second. It's down to you to control yourself and act better, you know, and not carry that energy forward, but carry the energy that you want to carry forward. those are the small changes you need to make. And we just have to make them, because if we don't, those what ifs are more probable and possible. And we're going to sit there thinking we had nothing to do with this. We couldn't do anything about it. And the sad truth is that people just aren't waking up to is you can do so much more about anything than you think.
I hear it.
Very much so.
Yeah, I hear it. All I know is AI is here now.
Very much,
you know,
prominent.
Yeah, I just have to hope and pray. Hope and pray.
That's literally it.
Yeah, hope, pray, have faith, do better. That's it. That's all you need to do.
So, yeah.
I don't think society can stop an alien invasion. I'm just saying, you know, like
not yet.
Us,
not yet.
like a collective.
Can.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I'm joking.
Unless I get superpowers tomorrow, do you know what I mean? Like,
we are the superpower. Like, we are, you know, like I said, coming to Earth, it's just, look at what we're talking about. It's not for the weak. So already we're underestimating ourselves, but underestimating the journey that we've chosen.
I don't think the people that's dealing with all of this stuff that we've been talking about care to stop it. I don't think that's the end goal. I don't think they're trying to stop anything from happening.
So you think they want it to happen?
Yeah, the ones in power.
Yeah, I feel like they want. I wouldn't say they want something to happen, but there's
I feel
a
like
greed
they
and control
know something
element.
may happen.
Yeah, and I feel like they want to be aligned with it and find a way to control it more so than stop it from happening.
Well, the one thing that I feel and just have recognized a pattern of with the news is that their only real goal, in my opinion, is to make people afraid and to divide groups.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's why I say control.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So again, like, I feel like we all just need to take them a little less seriously, along with what could happen, because we just don't know the truth. Do you know what I mean? So the best thing you can do for yourself is be the best that you can be for yourself, and learn more about what we truly can do as spiritual beings having a human experience.
Yeah.
And again, I haven't even scratched the surface with that. I'm still trying to quit smoking, so it's
how's
just not
how's
even,
that gone?
Well, obviously not great.
Why is it obvious?
Wow.
I don't know. It's obvious to me. So we all have our vices. We all have our things. But if we, again, try to be 1% better every day with ourselves first, we as a society can do more. Like when push comes to shove, we don't know what humans can do, you know, when our instinct for survival kicks in and our humanity kicks in. There were so many instances, again, like in COVID, and I can't think of specific ones, where people really did come together.
Not clapping at 7 o'clock.
Not that. Obviously not that. That's not an example.
Look outside your house, and there's the people there in a row like ducks.
And you just hear all these pots and pans as well. It was insane.
Yo, Kobe was a wild time.
Kobe was wild, bro.
I'm actually forgetting. You brought that whole memory back about clapping for the age.
Saying they stopped clapping. At what point did they stop clapping as well? Like, why did they stop clapping?
No, I think when
they should still be clapping now. Really and truly.
Guys, we've got to clap for the edit. No,
They
you know
didn't
what?
want you to
Crazy
do
time.
They didn't want you to do that.
They just felt embarrassed.
They were like, we want you to be in your house. COVID is real. Get indoors.
It's crazy.
That's
crazy.
jokes. Yeah, not that.
I don't know.
But other things.
I feel like this country in general has a lack of camaraderie. Is that a word?
What, a lack of what?
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yes,
so you made me doubt it. Camaraderie.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's got a lack of a lot of things, to be
fair. There's a big lack of it. So, it's like almost fighting a battle within the battle. But, you know, we'll get there.
But what's the alternative? Do you know what I mean? Exactly, we'll get... Sorry, I jumped into...
Yeah, you're on defense mode
today. I know,
today.
I'm passionate.
On defense mode today.
I catch you. But it's fine. We're on the same page now, so it's cool. But Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, to tie it up, I don't even know how to tie this episode up, to be honest.
I know.
It's hard.
What a beautiful unraveling I feel we've all been in.
There's a lot to
but I guess,
discover.
are we doing a word of advice? Why don't you choose what we say, since you're our guest? What are we doing today? Is it a word of advice?
My word of advice would be question everything and stay open-minded. That's what my word of advice would be. Yeah. You know, that way you can at least you're on the way to the truth, even if you ain't got the truth yet. As opposed to this.
I love that so much. You're on your way to the truth.
Yeah.
Even just in general life, like when you haven't got everything figured out.
Yeah.
That's such an anchoring
But again, if you think you got everything figured out, then you know that's fair enough. But it's very rare that everyone has everything figured out. So there's something you need to know. Hence why you should question everything. But at the same time, keep open-minded, because there's stuff that fly past you because you weren't open-minded. So
very excellent. Darren, do you want
to? I echo that.
Okay.
And I'll say something that was said earlier as well. Like, consider what's being shown, but also consider what's not being shown to you.
Yeah.
And be willing and humble enough to accept that you don't know everything. Yeah.
I feel like both those things are helping me in just like real life.
I hope they do.
They are.
I hope they do.
They will. My word of it. Well, we know what I'm going to say. The same thing I've been saying all.
Feed your soul.
My word of advice is consistent.
Consistent.
You know, don't panic. Like all these things, if you're panicking, you're already playing into the hands that are trying to control you. Don't panic. Don't be afraid. Calm. Still find ways to connect to the highest vibrations in life, which are love and joy. And you will be fine.
So what about if someone's listening to this and they don't care about the whole vibration frequency transfer?
Then don't listen to it then. Okay.
Whoa. That weren't what I was trying to get.
That's an example of, you know, not being in the highest vibrations, and I'm glad we could all see that. No, you know what? Truth takes time. Like if it's not for you, then it's not for you. But I firmly believe that is a fact, you know, like how is it that when you're sitting by yourself in stillness, you will feel something around you? That's a fact. So you can either vibe in or vibe out. It's up to you.
She said vibe in or vibe out, you know. No, I hear it. I respect it.
It's up to you. You know, it's just not by force.
I respect that.
It's definitely not by force.
All right, cool.
You're just echoing. Which is like, if you didn't hear it the first time, let me just...
Retweet. 100%.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us on another episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Before we sign out,
thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's been
electric.
Yeah, it's been electric.
What you got going on for yourself?
Just life, man. Life's just been laughing, man. You know, you're trying to do stuff, you get hit with obstacles, you got to try to get through those obstacles, and then you try to crack on. Whatever happens, I just try to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, you get up, you know, make sure you're grateful, say your prayers, whatever, and then keep going forward, you know.
I love that. It sounds like you have really good daily habits. I love that.
I just try to stick to them. Again, as you said, consistency, right? So, we all need the truth and purpose more than anything. So if there's no purpose, you might as well forget everything else.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
That one stressed me out, but that is true.
Don't stress, man. Do you know what I mean? You got one life. You know, I don't stress anymore. There's no point. It's not going to do nothing for me. If I can't control, you know, the situation, or I can't control what's going on, I'd let it be to the universe, because you know how it is. You're watching football or you're playing football. You make a foul. The ref gives you a yellow card. The ref runs the game. You play the game. So I can't control what the ref does. Like I can't change his mind. So his mind's already made up.
That's a fact. That's so true.
Don't stress anything out of your control.
No.
So much wisdom. I love it in these last moments.
I'm trying to you know,
get it all out now.
Yeah, not even all out. Just share with the world. You know, share. You have to share with the world while you're here. You know, because you know, knowledge is power, right? So
knowledge is power.
The more you know, the better you can.
And on that note as well, like for the people who are hearing about vibrations, frequencies, all that stuff for the first time, just do your research. Just see what draws your attention. Because with me, I was never, ever, ever about this life. I was the complete opposite. Completely. I wasn't even sure how I felt about God fully. So fully not into it. And then chakras was the first thing that caught my eye. And then as I started researching that more, it was just a rabbit hole. It led me to more and more. So again, it's not by force. Like if there's something that has that curiosity in you, then it is time for you to discover.
Yeah, it's just don't be curious down the wrong path.
And I hope you vibe in, you know.
You talking to me or him?
The public.
Oh, okay.
And you guys.
Vibe in or vibe out.
Yeah, vibe in or vibe out. That's the
I respect it.
that's the motto.
Respect it. Follow us on our social media at Alphawaves Podcast, or just type in Alphawaves Podcast and you'll see us with that symbol over there.
So everything come up.
Everything. Anything to share?
RSJ _styling, but I'm gonna change that soon anyway because I do really need for it to just be my, you know, just yeah.
Okay, so stay tuned is what we're getting from
watch the space and all that.
Follow now, then it will just follow through. Once
follow ASAP because it's gonna change real soon.
Trust me.
Respect for coming through, my bro.
Man. Thank you for having me, people. It's always a joy
it was so good.
Conversate and share.
Let us know what you felt about this episode. Leave your comments as always. Hit us up on TikTok as always. And
TikToker.
Yeah, all of that. And until next time.
Until then.